Hey everyone, I hope you're having a wonderful day or night whenever you're watching this. This day for me, it is nighttime. It is currently 10:45, and yes, I know I'm doing this video a little bit early, but I'm not tired, so yeah. And with this story, there are three more stops of our Salem, Massachusetts tour after this one. But with this one, it's going to be part of a movie set. What movie? Well, the Ropes Mansion was filmed during the amazing movie Hocus Pocus of 1993. I absolutely love this movie, and I cannot wait for the second one. So, let's get going. The Ropes Mansion was built by Samuel Renard in later 1720s. Unfortunately, we know little about Samuel Renard. Renard was a merchant who moved to Salem from Deerfield, Massachusetts. He had a purpose life in Salem village, married and remarried on 4 separate occasions. The marriages of the Ropes Mansion are even more mysterious than the merchant. Renard's first wife, Mary, died while the couple lived in Deerfield. Rachel, Renard's second wife, died in Salem village in 1743. Renard remarried Elizabeth Williams, who died in 1753. Renard's fourth wife, Catherine, also lived with Renard in the Ropes Mansion until Renard's death in 1762. It can also be assumed that Rachel and Elizabeth perished on the property, though there are no accounts of their paranormal activity. Maybe they're shy, perhaps. Who knows? In 1768, Judge Nathaniel Ropes purchased the house from the nephew of Samuel Renard. Ropes was a wealthy, not unpopular attorney and a Harvard graduate who, despite his desire, and held an impressive career. Ropes respected Salem in the colonial legislature and later served on the governor's council. Ropes was even a judge for the inferior court of the Common Pleas by 1772. Ropes was appointed to the Superior Court of Judge an impressive appointment as the Superior Court of Judge was the highest court of the colony, yet Ropes was a loyalist, which had become most disagreeable to Salem village after the tax controversies. Judges had been paid by the elected representatives by General Court, making partial to colonial interests. The British therefore proposed that the Crown provide their salaries directly. Colonists, infuriated that the Crown would further impose themselves upon the colonial life, demanded that the judges protect their loyal salaries. Indeed, the colonists declared that any of them who shall accept of and depend upon the pleasures of the Crown for his support, independent of the granted acts of the General Assembly, will discover the world that has not undue such the importance and imperial administration of justice, that he is an enemy Constitution, and has in it his heart to promote the establishment of our missionary government in the province. The Ropes mansion was mobbed as colonists threw mud, stones, and sticks at the windows. The colonists demanded that the Ropes renounce his allegiance to the British crown. Ropes never had the chance, however. He died the day after. He was 47 years of age. Ropes had smallpox at the time of the attack. He succumbed to the disease the following day. Throughout is uncertain if the mob caused his death. The Ropes family felt the disturbance of the attack has attended his affection. Nathaniel Ropes wasn't the only one with smallpox, however. At the same time of his death, Salem village was overcome with the epidemic. Yet public resources were either scarce or overpriced. It seemed the Marblehead crowd to set fire to a smallpox hospital. Their anger was understandable, no misplaced reaction to a public health crisis. Historian Andrew M. Werman maintained that the account in the Boston Globe writing that on the surface such as an attack might seem inhumane or at best ignorant, but the attack was calculated result of a long simmering anger over the cost and politics. Smallpox incursions in one of the largest, most prosperous towns in the colonies. Tensions were high, smallpox diagnoses were higher, yet the majority of Salemans couldn't afford the renovations. Those who could afford the vaccine were suspected of inflicting Salem villains. Salem voted that disease infections at their hospital, with the first annual stating that there was a great excitement here against the infections for smallpox. The accessibility of the smallpox vaccine may have even contributed to the attack on Nathaniel Ropes. If Ropes had been vaccinated as he could afford, he may have spread the infection to those less fortunate. That's what the mob may have thought, at least. Over 6 years later, more tragedy came to the Ropes mansion, and in 1839, Abigail Ropes met her tragic ending. Legend has it that Nathaniel's wife Abigail worked to death in her dress while in the Ropes mansion, yet the legend of Abigail is inaccurate. Abigail did catch fire in the house, yet Abigail was Nathaniel's daughter, not his wife. Abigail's dress had ignited from the mansion's fireplace. Her petite clothes went up in flames. Portraits in public buildings in Salem memorialized her death, establishing that Abigail died unmarried from burns received when carrying coal from the room to another room. Abigail's official obituary was more telling. Abigail reported that the Salem Gazelle succumbed to a distressing illness of 3 weeks caused by her clothes accidentally taking fire. Although it is uncertain if Abigail died then or thereafter, Nemi allegedly haunts the Ropes mansion. Reports have of her apparition profilate the history of the house. No, they'll let you decide for yourself. Tragedy struck the Ropes mansion in August of 2009. The Ropes mansion caught fire. The plaster ceilings were destroyed, and were carpets and wallpaper. Yet employees of the Ropes mansion swiftly responded, saving the majority of the home's artifacts. Some suspect that a heat gun that had been used in the exterior renovation. Others suspect that the ghost of Nathaniel Ropes was the cause. Yet this hasn't been the first time Ropes Mansion was ablaze. In 1891, history of Putman family in England and America recounted how the home had been set alight. Recently, it had been moved back and is now the residence of Mrs. Ropes, who had kept the old house externally nearly as it was, but the interior, unfortunately, was recently damaged by a fire. Is the Ropes Mansion cursed to fire or phantoms? Superstition says that the Ropes Mansion is unquestionably haunted. Prisoners of the Ropes Mansion claim that they can hear sounds of Abigail's agonizing screams. Some say they can even see her ghost. Others say Nathaniel Ropes haunt the house alongside her. Rick and Merritt Stafford, former caretakers of the mansion, claim that they caught Nathaniel Ropes on film. The image was taken during the insurance appearance and reveals two hands of a man seated on a couch. It is a ghastly snap of an otherwise unseen specter. Robert C. Hill published the photo in Ghostly Haunts, writing that here the sun sits out for a spell on the front of the couch. After all, if you're wandering around this mansion for over 200 years, you'd want to sit for a while, wouldn't you? It is unsure for spirits to last out during renovation. It's not unusual for spirits to last out during renovations. In fact, it's almost expected. And it's then no surprise that Abigail may have disagreed with the remodeling of the Ropes Mansion. In 2009, fire had even been attributed to Abigail, and a pointed bite back from a woman set to flame. There was an account of the mansion's garden is likewise haunted. Visitors claim to feel the icy touch of an unseen spirit, or hear the whispers of an disembodied voice. Is it Abigail Ropes, or perhaps the garden's longtime keeper, Andy By? Brad was employed at the Ropes Mansion in 1931, and oversaw the garden until 1994. His employment ended only upon his death. Perhaps Barry can account for the mysterious tapping felt by garden goers. You might recognize the home's garden from Disney's Hocus Pocus. The opulence of the 18th century home was an impressive backdrop for the film's Halloween party. And if you don't know, Allison's family was the one who threw the party. I can recite the movie like I know the back of my hand. I know every single line. Although the Ropes Mansion has been renovated and even relocated, the exterior of the two-story home matches its 1894 reconstruction by Zornian property was remodeled in the colonial revival style, with the significant renovations occurring to the property's interior. Colonial aesthetics were introduced alongside modernized appliances. The doorway was likewise replaced with a disassembled design by Asher Benjamin. In 1907, the Ropes Mansion was gifted to the trustees of the Ropes Memorial for public benefit, who added a large garden in the property in 1912. Although the Ropes Mansion is closed during the winter months, the garden is open year-round. So this is one of the reasons why I went to go to Salem. Hocus Pocus was obviously filmed at Salem. However, the houses that the Sanderson sisters lived at was only a prop. It was torn down after the movie, sadly. And some of the pieces, like the Ropes Mansion, are still there. And I'm like, I am so there if I ever get to go to Salem. That would be so cool. And I would honestly be able to say I was at a movie film area. I don't know what you call it. But yes, they only filmed like a snippet of the house because they were going to get out. They were actually going to get candy, but then Allison surprised them by living there, so that's when they all go to the witch's house. And you know what? I'm not going to spoil anything. If you haven't seen Hocus Pocus, stop what you're doing and watch it now. And it's awesome. Anyway, thank you for watching my stories. As always, thank you for watching my videos and channel. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. And as always, Haunted Girl will spook you later. Until next time, stay tight.